Welcome to this little video. This is Stephen and Rhyll, and we are founders of SA Lifeline Foundation. It's been a rough time for a lot of people, and we are empathetic. We understand the challenges of family in this difficult situation, and I am so grateful that I've had the tools to find more serenity and peace in my life through times and things that I cannot change. And I'm recognizing that there are so many things right now that are out of my control. And working my recovery has been a gift at this time and every day, but particularly at this rough time of uncertainty.
I'm a small businessman, and this circumstance involving the pandemic and how it's affecting small businesses and families and large businesses and states and countries. Anyway, it's affecting me personally, and that translates to affecting our relationship, and it translates to affecting our family. Was it 2 weeks ago? Anyway, I was feeling a lot of distress, and with that distress, then I translated that on to some emotional outbursts between Rhyll and I. And when that happens, then Rhyll has boundaries that are important, and those boundaries she determined that she would enforce, which was important.
Enforce.
Hold. Participate in hold. Anyway, you did all of that.
After surrendering.
And I had to do some pretty serious introspection. But the point that I wanted to make is I went to my home meeting a week ago last Friday and part of our step study was studying step 10. And we were actually reading out of the Alcoholics Anonymous 12 steps and 12 traditions. And as we did the step study portion of the meeting, and I began to think about what that meant to me personally about my life in that moment, I recognized that I really needed to take responsibility for where I was in a very important way. I had to recognize that when I'm wrong, promptly admit it. And I could see areas where I was wrong. So after the meeting, I determined I would continue reading in step 10, both in the white book and in the 12 and 12. And I found that to be so helpful and therapeutic that I then went and prayed about the circumstance. I made a call, but I felt like I needed to go even further and write just a small essay about really what I'd experienced, about not taking responsibility for the way that I was feeling in the moment, but wanting to incorporate that into our relationship. Another important part about what happened is I have had more than one call from people that I sponsor who have experienced very much the same thing. And because I had already experienced that and chosen to use the tools that I know are so important, I was able to share those with people that I sponsor, and then they were able to pass that on as well. So we have tools. And the tools that we work for recovery from sexual addiction or betrayal trauma go into living life, a healthy life every day, not just refraining from behaviors of anger or resentment or acting out, but moreover being healthy personally and knowing that I'm well grounded and I'm comfortable with myself.
It works when I work it. And I'm worth it, and this is all worth it. Some days are more challenging than others, but most days are every day is filled with beautiful gifts. And finding those gifts, even when life is challenging, is possible. And I'm grateful for that opportunity to look around and say, where is the gift today? Can I be in this present moment and not worry about the what ifs of the future? Working recovery has been so critical during this time, and I have had the great opportunity to attend multiple meetings online. And it has been so fun for me to meet and hear from women across the nation and even across the world who are working recovery with SAL 12-step, who are finding resources, working their tools. Those are women that I just feel so connected to. Unfortunately, through our shared trauma, but mostly through our hope and recovery work. Working the 12 steps, specifically with the help of resources through SAL 12-step, the curriculum, and the online meetings have been so important to me.
I, with my sponsees, have suggested that they work their 12 steps with the online curriculum. And every single person that I'm working with that is utilizing the online curriculum has come back and said, this is helpful for me, gives me a good format to keep me on track. And it also helps me to understand that I can use all 4 books simultaneously and I don't have to try to figure out what I'm going to do next. It's just right there for me. Grateful for the tools, grateful for the many people that have gone before us that have helped provide those and that are currently working to provide those. So thank you to all of those great people. So right now in this COVID-19 pandemic and the trauma that that's causing in all of our lives, I believe there's a greater responsibility that I have to use the tools that are available to me. Go to salifeline.org. On that website, there are many great resources for recovery from sexual addiction and betrayal trauma, resources for education, resources for finding a 12-step program, referring us directly to sal12step.org, where online meetings are available almost every day, and sometimes in the morning and every evening for both men seeking recovery from sexual addiction and women seeking recovery from betrayal trauma.
We want to share this message with you of our love, our concern, our desire for you to find peace and serenity in your life during difficult times, whatever circumstances are happening in your life.